All right, we are live on Twitter. Welcome in, everybody. I'm glad that y'all are here today. Just give me a moment as I get everything set up here. We are looking at UFD. All right, let's see here. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome. Hello. Only have 50 USDC. Is it worth it to DLMM? Yes. You just need to make sure that your fees aren't too high, and you also want to pick something that's kind of has a decent amount of upside. So you don't want to be DLMMing anything that is too low market cap because it's risky. You could lose a lot. And you also don't want to do too high of market cap because you have such a small amount of money. You want to be able to earn a decent amount of fees. Something like UFD could be pretty good. But yeah, you definitely can do it with 50. You just need to make sure that whenever you at least earn like 10% a return to be able to withdraw. Otherwise, you'll end up losing money. Even when you're making money, you'll lose money because of the fees and everything like that. So yeah, great question. Hey, good morning, everybody. Are you already in the pool? Yes, I am. I'm actually at the top end of the pool. I would like it to dip down a little bit and then come back up. I've claimed fees just recently, but we're earning a really good amount right now, actually more than 10%, but it's just showing 10% right now because I just claimed. I think we were earning around like 80% or something like that, or 100% on this. So we'll have to see what it looks like after it sits here for a little while, but yeah, it's doing really well. We also are in some wheel snake here. And not much, but I do have a little bit of wheel snake. Wheel snake is a low market cap coin, and so I'm trying not to get too much of it. We'll see how it does also, and then we'll be watching some of the coins that are trending. We'll be talking about Pingu, as well as ARK and a few other coins. We are in ARK, and it's actually doing really well right now, and it's probably a pretty good time to get into ARK also. You can see here that we have both ARK and UFD, which is Unicorn Fart Dust. We'll talk about these narratives around both of them. We'll talk about why I like both of them. I like them for different reasons. But overall, yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit. Thank y'all so much for being here. We are over 150 viewers already. And so if you're here, I appreciate your time for you being here. Feel free to ask any questions. We live DLMM every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, sometimes Friday. And I'll give you all an updated schedule as well, because I'm actually not going to be doing a video tomorrow, but instead I'll be doing it on Friday because I have I'm going to hang out with a buddy. Let's see if we can start taking some questions. Hello, everybody. So low bin, low fee, or high bin. So low bin, low fee. You want to do a higher bin, Saucy. It just depends on the token. So pretty much any strategy that I use that you'll see me do on here, you can replicate that whether you have $50 or you have $5,000. You should be able to replicate that. The only difference for you if you only have $50 is that you just need to make sure you're not closing out and rebalancing a pool too often, because the amount of fees that you're paying for that will eat into your profit way more than it would for someone else, because the fees are flat. They're not percentage based. And so for you, like if you have $50, you want to make sure you earn at least $10 on a pool, because otherwise the fees will end up eating into your profit too much. If you just earn like a couple of dollars, which is good on the percentage side of things, but you'll end up like losing half of your profit every time if you're just making like $3 or $4 in fees, right? So just make sure you're earning at least like $10 before you close out of the pool. Now, obviously, you may not earn $10 every time, but that would be the goal, is to try to get into something that you can earn 10 or 20% within like a few hours. Something like ARK, something like UFD, which we're currently doing, I think are both really good for these. So let's see here. Are you in Prom too? I have no idea what Prom is, but I can take a look at it. Is it in the top volume? If it's not, I'm probably not in it. Prom. I've honestly never heard of Prom. We'll see what it is. Yeah, there's okay volume on Prom. 4.9 million market cap. Yeah, I don't really know a ton about this. It looks decent. Volume on it is decent. I don't know what Prom is, though. I haven't heard of it. Is it an AI thing? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. I'm not sure I fully understand the narrative behind this. If it's hard for me to like understand without diving deeper, then it's probably not a narrative for something that I could see do well long term. It might be good in the short term, but I'll probably stay away from it. If it ends up doing better, let me know. But as of now, no, I don't want to get into it. Mac Yank, hey, welcome. Tim is asking, by the way, how do pools get their price? Optimal would be a pool price near the real market price, right? Oh yeah, you're talking about like under here. Yeah. So whenever you look at a pool, the current pool price, the pool price is just the price of the tokens in relation to their pair. So 1 UFD is worth 0.00037,153 SOL. And 0.0037153 SOL equals 1 UFD. So the pool price is just showing you the price between the two, between the pair. And so this is important. You want this to look like this. If it shows the little orange box that says it's within a 5% difference, basically what it's saying is that the current pool price is slightly off because of how people have bought and sold. Usually it happens more with lower amounts of liquidity, like on meme coins. And if that's the case, you either need to wait and there will be like a Jupiter sync button here. You need to refresh. Or if neither of those work, you can just put in like a few dollars into the pool. It should arbitrage itself, like it should fix itself back to its normal. Now, if it's like slightly different, I usually won't worry about it too much because that's kind of part of like slippage, right? Like the same when you trade a token and there's like 2% slippage. But if it is like a decent amount, then I try to reset it before getting into it because you can lose a lot of money if you put like a lot into it and you end up getting arbitraged. So, and arbitrage basically just means that someone was able to buy it from your pool at one price and sell it to somewhere else for a higher price because your pool was showing it at a cheaper price than what the actual market price was. Great question. I'm on Wheelsnake. Just joined now. I missed the UFD party. Hey, cool. Yeah, Wheelsnake's doing good. It's at 2.86 mil. I think I got out of it. Let me see. Yeah, I was trading it on Vector. I don't think I have any on my other wallets either. I wanted to watch it a little bit to see what volume looked like before I jumped into it. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. I might wait to see if it has a little bit of a pullback and I might buy some. Because I think it has a decent narrative to do a little bit of a run. I don't think it'll do anything crazy. But I do think it has a decent enough narrative. So we'll look at maybe getting into this. You can see we bought some down here and sold some up here. So we made a little bit, but I think that I would maybe want to get some more. Let's see here. We're currently looking at ARC. We're currently looking at UFD, and we're currently looking at Wheelsnake. Make sure that's the right one. And we're looking for a little bit of a pullback here. If it does one, a lot of times when coins are running, they won't necessarily have a pullback that's very big. You can see here that UFD is now in a sideways action. So I saw it start to slow after it came up here and did like this. I was like, it's probably going to start moving sideways or even moving down, which is totally fine for us. We're at the top side of our range, which you can see here. We set up a two-sided spot. And so we've been earning fees the whole time really, really well, earning over 100%. And so if it dips a little bit, that's good. Obviously, in the overall, we'll want it to push out towards the end. But overall, it's doing good. And we're also looking at ARC, which we had a one-sided pull on that we swapped as it came back down. So we got in around 160 mil up here. I set up a one-sided pull. The whole time it's been going down and back up. I've been earning fees. And then once it hit bottom down here, I closed it out and I set up a one-sided pull back on the way up. And so I expect it to kind of build back up from here and I'll earn fees along the way. UFD, we have the two-sided pool, and we're watching Will Snake here. It looks like there is a little bit of a pullback here potentially. So as it does this, we'll look to maybe get in. And then we will, I don't even know if there's any point in me drawing the lines really right now, but maybe if it, a lot of times they don't pull back to their previous supports because they're in an uptrend. And so that might be the biggest dip that we'll see. So let's go ahead and, oh wait, do I want to buy that? Saying there's a 6% price difference. One thing I don't like is when Jupiter hasn't updated the price, like if a coin's pumping, it makes it look like you're losing way more than you actually are. Like it was showing I was going to lose like $2,000 or whatever, $1,000. But in actuality, it's just a 5% difference, which is the price we pay for early meme coins. So we'll wait to see if this goes through here, and then we'll set up a pool for it. Perfect. Confirmed transaction. You can see we got in right here near the bottom of this dip. Make a little yellow line so people know we got in around there. Let's go to some pools here. I'm going to set up just a one-sided pool on the way up. I guess this 125 5%, it won't allow us to follow it all the way up very far. And we're also going to do spot. Some people would do bid ask on this, but I'm just going to do a spot. And again, this isn't a coin I expect to go to like 20 or 30 million, but could it go to 8, 9, 10, 12 million? Potentially. Now it could go way higher, but I do expect it to go up from here. It has a good narrative. It's being, has a good amount of attention on Twitter and stuff. And so I think that it could do decently well. So we'll watch it there. And that's why I don't mind doing the 125, because the goal of this is just to get in, earn some fees as it moves up, and then sell it once it hits kind of a high point. It's not moving like crazy fast, but it does have like a steady, like solid amount of volume, which I like on coins like this. Sometimes when they move too fast, it means they'll move down just as fast. And so I do like it sometimes whenever they're just kind of a good amount of volume at a steady pace. I like that a lot because you can see here the 5-minute volume is over 200K, which is really, really good. And the 1 hour volume is around 2 mil. Now I think that will drop down a little bit, but still anything above a mil, especially on a lower market cap coin on the 1 hour is really good. And when you're looking at like the 5 minute and 1 minute, if the 1 minute's over like 20K and the 5 minutes over 200K, that's really, really good. Even with these cut in half, like it would still be really good volume for a coin. So we'll keep watching. And this, again, this is a low cap. This is a much riskier play. This thing could dump. So just know, like, just don't put a lot of your money into this. Be very careful with this. I think that better plays, you can see here, UFD is dipping pretty heavy here, which is, again, good for us when it comes to fees. I think that something like UFD or ARC is a much better play. We'll continue to watch these. I wouldn't get into UFD right now. I'd wait for this dip to take place and then see. You could set up like a one-sided pool. I would maybe wait a little while. There wasn't much resistance coming up here. And so the next resistance line, like they have a little one here and a little one here that it could hit, but it's probably going to fall a little bit more here before it comes back up. Even if it does come back up a little bit, it'll probably end up falling into a downtrend here before it makes its way back up, which again is totally fine, because that just means we're going to earn more fees. Now, if I thought that UFD had topped out here and it wasn't going to come back up, then I would want to sell up here. I would have sold right when I saw it broke kind of below right here, showing that it's starting a downtrend. I would have sold because I've earned a lot of fees. I can now sell at the high end of the range. But I do think that this has more upside than it does downside. I think in the short term, we'll see it come down a little bit. But I think in the long term, it comes back up, which is why I'm just willing to keep holding this pool and keep just printing a bunch of fees. And you can see we're at the top end of our range, so it can come way down before we even get to the center and even further down before we reach the bottom end of our range. So if we can hold this for like most of the day, that's like really, really ideal. All right, let me take some questions. Say hey to some people. We are up to almost 400 people between YouTube and Twitter watching. Thank y'all so much for being here. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at this same time at 11 a.m. EST, 4 p.m. UTC. And then certain times I'll stream on Fridays. Tomorrow, Thursday, I won't be streaming, but I will be streaming on Friday of this week. I have to change it up just a little bit. Crypto Priest, hey, what's up, man? Scott Aker, thanks for joining. Galahad. I'm also in ARC right now, doing well, 16% for me. Beetle on Sol, hey, that's awesome, man. Love to see it. You're on the 100 bin 1%. Yeah, it's a little tighter. I'm earning closer to like, what is it, like 10% or something like that. Somewhere between like 8 and 10%, I think. 9%, yeah, on ARC. But I'm in a 200, or no, I'm in the 100 bin. So maybe I'm earning more than that. That just might be the average. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm earning like 18.9% right now. So that's really good. I'm on the 100 bin as well. Baz, Major, hey champ, thanks for all the valuable lessons. Thanks for being here, man. Glad they help. I lost a lot on Pingu. I am crying yet. so sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, Pingu ended up dipping down. I think Pingu ended up coming back up though. Did you buy it like the top or what? Because it actually is ripping up right now. This is actually a pretty significant resistance right here. You can see it hit it 3 times here as well as it did it further back as well. And so it looks like it's breaking above that. Pingu may run up right now. I don't know what you got in at, but you may actually be doing okay. So I'd continue to watch that. I'm not doing Pingu right now because I have all my money in other stuff that I like. But yeah, does look like UFD created a new support here, which is actually pretty close to this little mini one here. So that makes sense. Hard to know whenever it's free falling with not much support previously to know when it's going to bounce back up. Loves, hey man, good morning. In regards to HawkFi and compounding rewards, if the pool auto rebalances and claims the fees, do the compounding start over? Yeah, so it'll keep compounding no matter what, even after it rebalances, Loves. I currently have my HawkFi pool removed. I think I either posted that or said that in one of my other videos or on Twitter. I can't remember. I will add it back in. It's just right now I wanted to use that capital for other things, and so I'll start it back up. I ended up pulling it out when it was right around 51,000. And so I'll add in the same amount whenever I start it back up. Sonia, hey, Mr. Guy, thanks for being here. And HawkFi, when you set your auto rebalance, what percentage slippage do you recommend? I recommend 2% slippage. If it ends up being more than 2%, it's probably not worth it. You may even do like a 1% slippage. Being that it's Sol USDC on those pools, you probably won't ever use that high of slippage, but it's good to have it just to make sure. Because if it doesn't auto rebalance, you could end up taking more in permanent loss than that 1 or 2% slippage. So I like 1 or 2%. Now, if you're doing like a meme coin or something, you might need more than that. But for Sol USDC, I think 2% is pretty good. Yeah, Will Snake is just sitting sideways right now, not doing anything crazy. So we'll keep watching that. I think I set up a one-sided pull for it. Let's see. Yeah, it's out of my range because I set up a one-sided pool. It's actually dying right now. Oh, I say dying. It's not dying. It's just dip. It's just got a small dip. Sorry, I thought it was. But I'd set up a one-sided to try to catch it on the way up. I'm honestly not feeling like crazy risky this morning. And so I'm just going to get out of Wheel Snake. It could do really well. I'm not saying you should get out of it. I don't feel like messing with the low cap stuff today. UFD is like printing really, really well. And so is ARC. And so there's really no need for me to do this. The volume isn't like, even though it's like fairly solid, it's not crazy high. I would risk a little bit more on a lower cap if like the volume was insane, because then the amount of fees would offset that risk. But as of right now, I think it's dipping a little bit here. I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna get out of it, and we'll move on from it. So let's see here. So make sure my sell goes through on this, and then I'll jump back into some of these other coins. Again, it could just come down and come back up. Like normally, I wouldn't sell at this level. I'd wait for it to bounce off of this one here. Before I would get out of it. But honestly, I'm like, all right, I got a tiny loss. I put in a small sizing on it. I'm not too worried. I'm just going to move on from it. And then we'll come back to it. another time. If it ends up doing well or picks up on volume, we'll come back to it. So you can see UFD did bounce off here and come up, but it's still very much in a downtrend. So I wouldn't be surprised if it broke down even further and it tried to find a new resistance here, or even came all the way down to this 51 mil. This is kind of the bottom resistance I would expect it to bounce off of. But honestly, I think it'll probably do it before then. It could come that low, but I kind of expect it to do it before then. So Pingu does look like it bounced off that resistance and came back down. It stopped its run. So if you are watching that, I'm going to get out of Pingu, but just so that you know. And we'll continue to look for new trends here. There's this Lee token. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this thing seems to have some crazy volume on it. So this might be one that we get into. Let's see what happens on this dip here. We're also going to check out X. Actually, this Lee token, the audit does not look very good. Top 10 hold 39.5%. This is why it's good to check this stuff out. It looks like there's a decent amount of snipers that got in. There's still a decent amount that still hold. Some of them have sold. Let's see. It says 100% on the rug pull thing, but on Good Morning, Good Night, it'll show this whether it's already rugged. So it won't necessarily update it, but it does look like the top 10% still hold 39%. Let me see what the Twitter looks like. Doesn't have anybody I know that's following it. It has a tiny bit of engagement, nothing crazy. It looks like it's in Chinese, so I don't really know a lot about that. I don't feel super confident in this coin, so I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get into it, even though it has really high volume right now. And we'll come back to it and see. It's always good to check these out and determine if it's worth it or not. And I'll check out a few of these other coins as well. One of the things I do like is you can see like the percentage of people who hold this that also hold other like blue chip tokens. And you can see like whatever this LMT thing is at 19%. You can see Fart Coins at 6.8. ARK is at 5.3. So a lot of people like ARK. And so you can use some of these to determine like, bully, like how strong some of these coins are. Apple is 13.5%. Seems pretty high. Grift is 5.6%. So, yeah. Also, if you haven't already, I forgot to mention this, I'm doing a giveaway today. We are highlighting ARK. It's a project that I've really enjoyed. Its token has done very well for us with DLMMing, but I'll also be talking a little bit about their tokenomics and the project as a whole. And so we'll be checking that out. I don't know what the heck LMNT is, but and I'll be talking about it. But we are doing a giveaway today, and it is right here. So for our 10 days of Christmas giveaways, we are doing giveaway every single day leading up to Christmas Day, in which we'll do another big giveaway. And so today we're doing ARK. I want to highlight ARK as just a project that's really, really solid. They are building, they built an AI framework on Rust. So if you don't know, Rust is the programming language that is used for the Solana blockchain. It's actually much harder of a code than like just some generic like C++ or Node, React, any of that kind of stuff, JavaScript. It's much harder to learn and get into. And so it's really, really cool because they built a whole AI framework with Rust or on Rust, right? So that people can build AI frameworks on the Solana blockchain. And I think this is really, really big because right now the integration with AI, there's tons of Web 2 AI that's doing really, really well. And so I think that, we're trying to see the AI transfer over to the blockchain. And so I think really the power of AI with crypto and Web3 is going to be when we start to see these AI frameworks get built out on a deeper level. And I want to be able to have an AI agent to be able to tell me what's going on the blockchain live, be able to show that data live, be able to give me trends, be able to do all this kind of stuff, right? And so it's hard to do that whenever you have these AI companies or AI coins and stuff like we've seen that are pooling basically just like a Web 2 company would do. They're basically pulling Web 2 data. And so I think ARK is really, really bullish for me because of what they're building with their AI framework, being able to actually interact and do all of this on chain. It's really, really cool. And so if you'd like to win $150 in ARK, which you can use to DLMM or sell or do whatever else you want, all you have to do is engage with this post and join the live stream. If you're already here, you've already completed one of those. We'll be doing the giveaway in about 30 to 45 minutes live on here, and we'll have somebody who wins. And yeah, so that's ARK. You could also see their tokenomics are really, really cool. 90% of it is in circulating supply. They have an ARK prize pool and treasury at 5.5%, and the team is only getting 4.5%. So the fact that it's already distributed out, it's really, really cool because a huge amount of the circulating supply is already out there, or the whole coin circulating supply is out there, but only a small percent is locked up by the team. So this is really, really good. It means that the power is in the hands of the people as far as how the token works, which is why I really like it, why other people like it, and what they're building. And so that's why I think the token's doing so well and has been so good to DLMM, because the volume has stayed fairly high. You can see it's on 1.2 million volume on the 1 hour. Overall, just really solid project. And so, yeah, this is a giveaway we're doing. Go interact with that if you want to win. We're watching UFD. It's creating some more supports down here, which is good. Like I said, it's hard to know exactly where it's going to find it. It could come all the way down to like 50 or 51 mil before breaking back up. But again, for us, that's amazing because we actually got into this on the high end. So we're probably starting to get, that's ARK. We're probably getting close to the middle of our range here. Let's see. Oh, no, we're still not. We still got a long way. I think we got in maybe around like 50 or 55 mil whenever we rebalanced this. We had run this last night and earned pretty good amount on fees. You can see here we've already earned $270 in fees, and we'll keep watching that go up as this starts to make its way back down, or if it decides to push back out again. But either way, this is why we're in the 200 bin 1%. It gives us a really, really wide range. Could I be earning more fees on a tighter percentage? Absolutely. But if this ends up coming all the way down to 50 mil, someone who would have been on 100 bin up here would not have been able to stay in range as it comes all the way down here. Whereas with the 200 bin, I would be able to. And I expect this thing to stay pretty volatile. So I want to capture fees the whole way. It also just reduces the amount of risk and impermanent loss I can take having a higher bin as well. Let me take some questions here. Do you change your liquidity amount depending on the coin, or you run the same dollar amount each time for consistency? It's just Lindy. Great question. I absolutely change the dollar amount depending on the coin. If you haven't already, also go check out, I have a guide that I came out with. If you have not watched it, this will answer a lot of these questions that I'm answering here for you. I call it my ultimate DLMM guide. It's on my Twitter. It's pinned to the top of my profile, so you should be able to go see it there. Yeah, it's pinned right now. And so you can actually go through and watch. I have a video for DLMM basics for pool selection and kind of key info around the pools, my advanced strategy breakdown, as well as charting entries and exits in and out. So a lot of the stuff that I talk about on here live, a lot of the questions y'all ask, you can actually check out here. I'm still happy to answer these, but just if you haven't already, go check out this guide. Please also engage with it as well, because I have 350 people that bookmarked it to come back to, but only 217 likes. So I guess people just bookmarked it instead of liking it, which, hey, totally cool. But if you have already bookmarked it and you haven't liked it, please go do that. It helps with all of my engagement and Twitter algorithm, as well as just getting more impressions and things like that on the post itself for more people to see it, which helps me out in the long term. So you can go check out that as well. We're going to continue to watch UFD, which looks like it might be trying to break back up here. We'll see if it starts to move back above that or not. Let me pull that up here and this up here. All right. But yes, I do change the liquidity amount depending on the coin. Really, it's not dependent on the coin itself. It's dependent on the amount of volume it has and its market cap. So like if there's a low market cap coin and it has like an okay amount of volume, I'm going to do a small sizing, just like I did with the coin we were just looking at a minute ago, Wheel Snake. But if it's got a higher volume, even if it's a low market cap, I'll add a little bit more as far as my sizing and how much liquidity I'm going to add. Because even though it's still high risk being at low market cap, the increase in volume offsets that a little bit because I'll earn more fees. And then as it moves up in market cap and it moves up in volume, it's a similar thing. So if we're looking at something like UFD, the volume's really high, the narrative's really high. And so it's a mid-market cap coin. But I'll probably put in as much into this as I would into a larger market cap coin because it's got so much volume, and the amount of fees I'm going to earn offsets any risk of it going down. And so it's kind of dependent on the risk profile, the volume, and the market cap. Great question. UFD Sol 1300 liquidity, 200 plus fee currently, 130% 24-hour TBL. Hey, Vaz, that's awesome, man. Way to go. Can we see your positions so noobs can learn? Yeah, absolutely. So you can see here I'm in the 200 bin, 1% on UFD. I've got 17,500 in it, which I put in much less than this, but obviously as it moves up, it's going up in value. And you can see I just did an auto balance or auto, whenever I created it, I just did the 50-50 auto on it. And you can see if you were to do that, just to give you an example, you'll see I did a spot here. And it did it negative 49% down and set 96% up. Now I could tighten that if I wanted to, but that's not what I did. I just used the default 50-50 whenever I created it with the 200 bin 1%. So that's what I did there. And I can show you my ARC one as well in just a minute. We check trust the process. It is doing good. Just for, I'm not sure I understand your question, but thanks for being here. Wow, you made bank on this coin. Just joined the stream. CoinTilt, welcome, man. Glad that you're always here and supporting me. Yeah, we are doing very well. We've done well on ARC, and we're doing very well on UFD as well. I don't know what happened last night, but I got ARB'd for almost 500 on UFD. Good lesson. Yeah, you got to be careful. So whenever you go into the pool, make sure that the current pool price is active here. It's not showing that there's a huge price discrepancy. If there is, and you go to add it, it'll actually have another pop-up that warns you again saying, are you sure you want to enter in this pool? There's a price discrepancy between the pool and the actual market price. If you then accept it again, it's likely that you could get ARB'd. It doesn't necessarily mean you will, but it is likely that you will. So just be careful with that, man. Sorry to hear that happen. Good day, Mr. Token Guy. Good day, Mr. Sados. Fam, how do you spot UFD? Most of the new coins are LP rugs. Honestly, fee printers, Discord, which I've talked about before. I talked about them in one of my recent posts. You can go check it out and find them there to be able to join the Discord. They have tons of alpha people talking about stuff. Now, some of the coins they talk about as well on there can also rug. So you just have to filter it, ask questions and stuff like that. But basically, I came in and I was like, I saw this thing. I mean, we saw this way back. Way back here, you can see I bought and sold some around 1.7 mil. Isn't that crazy? I think I bought some for 1.7, sold it for like 2.1. But I also DLM'd this a lot. So I DLM'd it all the way from like 2 mil all the way up to like, we kind of did it on and off all the way up to around the 35 mil range. And then I ran it overnight. But whenever I first started pop up, some people were talking about it in the Discord. They sent the Twitter and the YouTube of the guy who created it. The idea of like this boomer who created this for a social experiment and all the crypto bros are like trying to send it to prove him wrong is just such an amazing narrative that I was like, this has to run. And then with the amount of volume it was pushing up after seeing it dip back and fight back again, I was like, oh yeah, there's something good in this. And so all those combinations made me get into it. I'm actually starting to DLMM lower market cap coins much, much less. And the reason why is like, even though I do hit and get really big returns on some of them, I also end up losing on a lot of them as well. And so even though I think over time, I end up being a little bit more in profit, it's just a lot of ups and downs that honestly, like, I don't necessarily want to deal with. And so I'm starting to get into some of them early if they have high volume, but I'll get out of them pretty quick if I've made a little bit of money. And then once they move up like above like the 8 or 10 mil range and they're starting to move into the teens, that's where I start getting more confident in them. And really right now I'm trying to capitalize on a lot of mid cap coins, stuff that's like 20, 30 mil all the way up to like 100 mil. I think they're kind of the sweet spot of like not having them just like absolutely rug you, still having like a good amount of volume and a lot of potential for upside as well. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to stick to, which is why with that wheel snake, I got into it. It didn't look like it was moving enough. And I was like, I'm just going to get out. I don't feel like risking it right now. It does look like UFD is running up now. So that's really good. But yeah, that's how I check those out. Ananias, long question here. Logan, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Hi, if I put one-sided SOL in USDC pool on bid ask to essentially DCA up, say my range is 220 to 300. As SOL price goes up, I will swap it for USDC. If I put 100 SOL in the pool and SOL goes to 280 and then back down to, I essentially get back all my initial 100 SOL plus all the fees. Yeah, that's exactly right. If you set up a one-sided pool and it goes all the way up to the very end of your range and all the way back down, whatever you put in at the beginning, that's what you'll have back at the end, plus all the fees that you've earned. That's the benefit of a one-sided pool. Which UFD pool are you in? We're in the 200 bin 1%. Any thoughts on Stream? You haven't posted about it yet. Been DCAing in via bid ask, but wanted to reverse that into a DCA out position soon. G59, great question. Let's take a look at Stream. I haven't looked at it a ton this morning. Stream ended up not doing nearly as much volume as I expected it to. It started off really, really low. There's multiple streams as well, so I need to get the right one. Do you have the CA for Stream you can send me? I don't have it on hand here, and it's not popping up right off the bat. I'm still holding a bunch of Stream. I bought in early, and so I'm still getting it like vested and staked over time, and I'm just holding it right now. I think that Stream is an amazing product, an amazing platform that I expect to do really well long term. And so it's one that I will highlight in my giveaways most likely, and we'll give away some more Stream also. What is Jupiter Z? Hey, great question. I just was reading about that this morning. I honestly can't tell you the deep part of it because I haven't looked into it, but it does say that it gives gasless and 0% slippage swaps, but it's only available for certain pairs. So you can see here, like with Wheel Snake, there's obviously a lot of that. If I add this in, it may not even allow me to buy this. You can see Wheel Snakes isn't verified. It's not going to work on this pair. But if you look at something like USDC and Sol, if I'm trying to swap, let's do Sol to USDC, and I'm trying to swap 20 Sol, you can see the value is 4,322. And that's exactly as much as I'm getting. So I'm actually not paying any gas or any slippage. So I'm getting exactly how much. Now, I don't know how they do this. I want to look into it more to be able to find out. Seems like a really, really cool feature that they have. It does say up here that all swaps enjoy the best of Jupiter RFQ and on-chain routing. So I'm not sure exactly how they do it. They might be doing it by somehow like doing it off chain and then relating it on chain. I'm not exactly sure how they can do transactions without any sort of fees, but I plan on looking into it. It does seem pretty cool, and I'll be using it if I am swapping some coins like Sol USDC. Meme coins, it probably won't do it as well. Charlie, Sammy, welcome in. Wonder, thank y'all so much for being here. Which pool for UFD? I just said that. Looks promising. Good morning. Good morning. I was trying to yesterday enter into a pool and it always was not synced, and I missed entering where I wanted. Yeah, if you get into a pool, you need to make sure that it is synced up. Like this one is not, but if you sit here long enough, it'll adjust, or you can just refresh the pool. Also, that's if there's money in the pool. If there's no money in the pool, just wait about 1 minute and a little sync with Jupiter price will pop up right here. You can also create your own pool, which you could go to pools and create here. And then whenever you create it, you would actually set up the price for it. So like if we want to make a, bonk. Oh, why does it keep sending me a Sol scan? If you want to make a bonk Sol pool, you would set it up and then you can actually put in the price here. And then there's no money in it. Nobody's entered into it. And if you set up the price properly like here, then you won't have any issue with it being offset. Of course, it'll have to be a pool that isn't already created to be able to do that. So that is an option as well. We are watching UFD range here. It does look like it's bouncing off the top resistances here. And so we'll see if it comes back down or if it wants to fight back up. Either way, this is beautiful because we're at the top end of our range and it's just ranging sideways. If it just continued to do this forever, I would be incredibly happy if it just kept doing that. Now, eventually it might end up breaking out or going down, but we really, really like it sitting sideways like this. Arc to the moon. Yeah, absolutely. I love Arc. We'll continue to see what it does. It could come all the way down to like the 100 mil range again, which my pool is not set up to prepare for that because we ended up flipping it from a one-sided Sol pool once it came down here back up to a one-sided Arc pool down at the bottom end of the range here, because you can see if I put this line here, it bounced off of this support and came back up. Now it could come back down, could continue to go back up. I'm not sure, but I like it overall. So that's what we're doing right now. Everybody lost on Pingu, I think. Yeah, I mean, we did okay on Pingu. We lost a little bit. I did get a free airdrop and sold some of that. I didn't get a huge airdrop. I think it was like $500 or $600. But overall, yeah, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it does seem like Pingu's doing better now, though. I'm Colt asked, how is Croak? I've talked about Croak a few different times. It's a meme coin that I created. We're still working on it. You can check inside of the Telegram if you have any thoughts or questions on it. We chat in there daily. And but yeah, we're working behind the scenes to try to build some stuff. But it is a long-term build, so just know that. How you feel about trust on an uptrend here? I was looking at trust earlier. I haven't looked at it. Oh wait, it's right here. It went up to like 50 something mil, and now it looks like it's dipped down just a little bit. Yeah, so it went up to like 56, 57 mil here. The volume on it's pretty decent. I saw someone mention it earlier. It's still in a downtrend right now. Again, I only, like anybody, only has so much capital that they can put into coins. And so for me, like I don't have enough to spread myself super thin. So like I won't be getting into this, but if I'm looking at it, it's in a downtrend right now. It did bounce off of this. So I'd look for it to continue to fight up and show higher highs and higher lows, meaning that it dips down but comes back higher here and here. And then you can maybe get back into it because it does look like it topped out and is in a downtrend. So you'd want to see it potentially move back up. Otherwise, it might continue down the same way that it continued up here. So just be watching for that. It seems like it's decent overall, has good volume. You just want to make sure you get a good entry. If you're already in it and you're holding, I would just keep holding and maybe follow it back down to here, or maybe even a little lower depending on your range. Jupiter Z is for zero slippage swaps available on certain pairs. Yes, please check this coin. Trust the process. Just checked it. You just killed Wheel Snake. I doubt that I killed it. It started dying, and then I said, I'm going to get out of it. I mean, it could do really well. It's got a good narrative to it as well. Like I said, it's just I don't feel like dealing with the risk. Also, it's definitely not dead. Like it's still doing well and has good volume. It's just not one that I'm going to get into right now. Starting with 0.1 Sol is good for trading. Or is that a question, Olivia 25? You can start with any amount. The more you start with, the better though. Fees and stuff can eat into that. What are your filters on good morning, good night? If you're looking at this, I just do the 5-minute or the 1 hour volume, depending on what I'm looking for. And then I filter it by volume over here. And so I'm not worried about trending or anything like that. I just do it based on the volume. And then I filter out whether I like the coin or not after that. But with DLMMing, volume is king. Just because it has high volume doesn't mean it's going to do well. But it is a really good standard to start and to look at to determine whether something is going to do well or not. And so, yeah. AI is the future. Absolutely. Let's go. Really cool how you're sharing your blessing with the community, man. Hey, S17. Yeah, you won one of the giveaways, bro. That was awesome. I love being able to give back and help. And so, absolutely. I like I said before, like I'm not a huge giveaway person. Like I don't do this all the time. I did it with Magic Eden because I got a really good airdrop and I wanted to give back to people. And then, we were coming up on Christmas and I really enjoyed the giveaways that we did with Magic Eden. So I was like, you know what, let's just keep these going. We're coming up on Christmas. I'm really enjoying this. Let's go ahead and do some more giveaways. And so that's why, I'm doing those leading up to Christmas. I probably won't do them a ton after that. I'll probably do them whenever airdrops and other things come out. But as of right now, we are doing them leading up to Christmas. So loving it. AI coins will pump in 2025. Yeah, I agree. I think the important thing is to try to find the good AI coins now, right? Like whenever you're looking at which ones to look at, like ARK is very unique. There's not people like ARK that are building. Like it literally has a whole AI framework on the Solana blockchain built with Rust. And so this is like very unique. And I think is also like a huge use case to be able to grow, excuse me, to be able to grow Solana with AI at the same time. I think there's limitations on what AI can do right now. And even though there's a bunch of them coming out, they're all going to have to start moving to pulling on-chain data if they really want to expand and become like the best and kind of separate themselves from all the many different AI coins that are out there. Because anybody can create an AI that can talk back to you, can do some simple tasks, these AI agents. But which ones are going to be pulling on-chain data that'll be able to scrub and pull that live as it's happening to be able to give like really powerful analytics for traders and different people to use? I think that's going to separate people. I think ARK with their rig AI framework they built is just going to be the core hub of people doing that. Everyone who creates stuff is going to have to use their framework because it's the best and they're unique and the only ones doing it as well as they're doing right now. So really, really like ARK long-term. And I think AI coins will do well, but we want to make sure we choose the right AI coins. We're going to have to filter through a bunch of them. They won't all last and they won't all pump through 2025. So what are your filters? I just showed that. I need to check this guide. Yeah, please go check out the guide, man. You can check out the what I call my ultimate DLMM guide. It's pinned to the top here. Make sure you don't just bookmark it. Make sure you engage and like it as well. I really appreciate that. Go through, watch the videos. If you enjoy them, let me know. If there's any feedback or any other videos y'all want, please go ahead and tell me that as well. You can go check out the guide here. Refer back to it anytime you have questions. I appreciate it. When did you get into DLMM? I mean, I first started DLMMing specifically with Meteora like maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago when they were still fairly new. I didn't do a ton of it. I just did a little bit here and there. And then once meme coins and volume started picking up a ton, that's when I started doing it a lot. So that was like maybe 3 months ago. And then before that, I did do a lot of liquidity pool stuff. I did stuff on Camino. I did stuff with Orca. And so I've been doing liquidity pool providing for years. But specifically DLMMs on Meteora, I jumped into fee printers and started doing it a lot more about 2 to 3 months ago. Hugo, what's up, man? Sorry I'm late. Hey, no problem. Glad you're here. Still in ALK. I'm not in ALK, no. So like anytime I talk about a coin, like look, ARK, if ARK ends up dipping too low, I'll get out of ARK, right? Like ultimately, like I would like them long term. Everything I said about the project, I still believe in. But ultimately, I have to make good financial decisions around coins and what they're doing and reading the charts. And so with ALK, it dipped below 90 million. It like tried to fight back a few times, but ended up dipping and staying down lower. So I ended up selling and getting out of ALK, even though I do like ALK. I think it's pretty cool. I looked at Trust already. This is the CA from the Meteor pool, the stream. Thank you. Let me pull that from here. Yeah, that looks like the right CA. I knew whenever I saw the right address that I would know what it was. I just wasn't seeing it. So one of the things that I'm trying to figure out with Stream is that it's got really, really, really low liquidity, meaning 0 is what it's showing on Good Morning, Good Night here. And so I'm not sure what they're doing as far as liquidity, but that's a big reason why the token is kind of has this chart looking the way that it does. I need to zoom way out. You can see it's slowly trickled down. It also doesn't have a ton of volatility or price action. Without a liquidity pool, we won't see a lot of that. And so I'm not sure why they haven't set that up yet. I'm curious to see what they're going to do over the long term. But overall, I still like the coin and think that it'll do well long term. So we'll just have to see what it does. I really like Stream. I think they're really important for the ecosystem. But yeah, we'll keep watching. Are you looking at Lee? Yeah, I was looking at Lee, but it had a lot of red flags. Obviously, it's pumping and moving up now. Maybe somebody can tell me more about it. Let me see what's going on in Discord. If anybody's talking about it. Yeah, I mean, it's showing a lot of like the top 10% and stuff like that are hold 40% of the token, which I don't like. And again, whenever I checked on Twitter, there wasn't anything saying as to like why they have that much. And I have no idea. The most dangerous cat in China. I don't know if this is. This guy's got 1.8 million followers, but I don't know. Let's see if he's actually talked about it. I have no idea. We're excited to announce the launch of our meme coin, Leon to Solana, to continue support operation of our account. This is not the same person, though. This is, oh, they reposted it. Okay, they did repost it. So I don't know what this is. It's obviously followed by a big account, so maybe it'll do well. I'm not sure why they hold 40%. It's definitely not like, it looks like the dev owns like 25% of it, maybe. Yeah, the dev owns like 20%, I think. But apparently it's not a pure meme coin. It's going to be used for something based on what some people in Discord are talking about. Okay. I'm interested in it. It's now like been pumping enough. The volume is still pretty steady on it. That maybe we'll look to get into it some. I think I understand kind of what's going on a little bit. This guy who's, clear this is Chinese. They are supporting it. They reposted the actual account this year. I'm surprised there's only this many followers, but obviously that guy's got 1.8 million. They seem to be pushing it. Now, obviously, it's still high risk considering that the dev owns 20%. We have no idea what he's doing with it. I can't read Chinese. So we might get into it with a small amount of sizing. if we see a little bit of a dip here. So we'll continue to watch it and see. Again, we'll just enter it in with a small amount. The small amount to you may be different than what it is for me, but I would say you want to do like 2 to 3% of your portfolio at max, or not your total portfolio, but 2 to 3% of what you use for meme coin, DLMMing, and stuff like that, if you're going to do it. And so let's just get into it here. We'll just add this. We'll do a little two-sided pool on like a 200 bin probably. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll see. We'll check it out again. Now the fact that it's broken over 10 mil makes me, with the amount of volume and seeing why it is the way that it is, like why the top 10 holders are that way, makes me a little more confident. But again, just be careful when getting into this. I'm not saying that you should get into this. This is not financial advice. It could do absolutely terrible, or it could skyrocket. Yeah, just be careful. Trying to buy it on my other wallet as well. Broadcasting it, my trade on Vector. Going to do it on there as well. And we'll see where it goes. We bought some here. We bought some on our other account. Let's go ahead and set up a pool. Does look like it's ripping up. We might just do like a one-sided pool. And if it comes back down, then we can always swap it to two sides. But let's see. Someone's got a 255. I like a 200 bin 2% personally. The 5% is probably pretty good, but the 2% is earning almost the max anyway. Let's do this. Wow, it's absolutely skyrocketing. Well, I've made money off of just holding it since since I bought it. And you can see here now the pool is slightly off, so we'll need to refresh that. Maybe we'll do the 255% pool actually. With the way that it's moving and how fast it's moving, it might make sense to do that. Let's see if it dips a little bit, and then we'll add it in on the dip. We need to make sure that we're not going to rush into it. We want to make sure that the pool is the pool price is right. If it's not, we'll just refresh it. And if it gets pretty close, then we'll just do it and it'll be fine. But it's still a little bit apart right now. So I find that just refreshing it sometimes will work. And then if it gets close enough, I'll just add it in, even if it's like slightly off. That's still a little too off. On my other wallet, it actually got much closer on my other screen that I'm doing. So I'm adding it there. This one's still too far off. We'll do like a hard refresh and see what it does. It did dip down here. So this is a good point for me to enter in one-sided on the dip. Obviously it could go lower, in which we'll just rebalance it or sell it. But if this is all it does and comes back up, which the way it's moving now, it's very likely. Dang, this pool is still too far off for me to mess with it right now. Yeah, we're earning 999% on the 255% on my other wallet. It'd be great to get this one in. You know what? That's close enough. Let's do it. It got a little bit closer. All right, Ren. And so because that price difference is there, sometimes what will happen is for it to balance, you'll get like a slight arbitrage that'll happen, and this will actually like just sell a little bit. Sometimes that doesn't make a big difference. In this instance, it didn't do that. Sometimes this will show this, but it's actually off. After I refresh a bunch of times, if it's still showing it, sometimes I'll risk a little bit, especially if it's not too far, in which I just did, and it actually didn't affect it at all. So Yeah, it does look like it's pushing back up here. So hopefully we'll keep seeing that. We'll come back to it. We'll get off of stream, and it looks like UFD is still doing really good. The volume on it's moved down just a little bit, but that's nothing because like it's still doing over 500K or around 400 to 500K on the 5 minute, and it's done 10 million on the 1 hour. So UFD volume is still crazy high, continuing to move sideways, but still at the top end of our range. So looking really, really good. ARC dipped down just a little bit, but still sitting pretty good. This is a much slower earning one, but over time, really, really enjoy it. Still around like 9% or up to 18% sometimes, depending on the volume there. And we're going to continue to watch this, which looks like it's about to break back out above its previous high, in which that'll be really good for us because we just did a one-sided pull with a 255%. Let's see what that pull looks like now. Yep, there we go. We're already earning, so that's good. Doing the same thing on the other side. Let me see if I can take some questions. Sorry. I've been sacrificing how quick I get in and out of stuff and kind of my decisions and stuff by answering a lot of questions on stream. But I know a lot of you want to actually see what I'm doing live anyway, and so I don't want to make sure that I sacrifice that too much. I want to make sure that I'm, taking care of business as far as setting up these pools and stuff like that, and then come back to the questions once we get it all set up. So it did break a little bit above here, and then it looks like it's starting to come back down a little bit. So we'll see. I think it'll probably continue up, but we're at a good position now. I'd like it to move up a little bit more before it kind of comes sideways and starts to dip. But volume is still really, really high. It's actually even picked up even more here compared to where it was here. So that's a good sign. We'll continue to watch there and continue to watch as the fees move up and down here as well, which you can see are very, very high right now. All right, questions here. Is it good to DCA one-sided SOL on UFD at these prices? Yeah, I think this is probably a pretty good place. Now it could come back up and you'll miss out if it comes out of your range. But I think a one-sided SOL pool, like a 100 bin or a 200 bin, I'm in the 200. I think a 200 bin is going to be less risky, but you might not earn as much. But a 200 bin 1% pool on the way down here in either a bid ask or a spot. I do spot, but bid ask could be good as well if you think it's going to come way down. Could be really good because you'll be able to come from here all the way down to the 51 mil, which is the next kind of big resistance down here if it does break down. So I think that is a good strategy right now, especially with the volume that we're seeing on it. Great question, though. A few people asked me a good point to get in the UFD. I kind of just described that now. Alpha V2 any good? I haven't checked it out, but I need to. I know it just came out. Good morning. Today I got in early. The Merchant. Hey, thanks for being here. Please check Trust. I did check Trust. It isn't one that I'm excited enough about, even though it does look fairly solid. It's one that I'm going to hold off on for now. But it does look like it could be pretty good overall. Filters I'm using for good morning, good night. I think I talked about this, but basically I just do a 5 minute or 1 hour trending under trending here, and then I filter it by volume, and that gives me an idea of kind of what's doing well. Like we can see Peanut's doing well. Wow, is Peanut really all the way down to 3.8 mil? That thing dumped a lot. Hey, we're over 760 people watching on live. Thank y'all so much for being here, both on YouTube and on X. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and holy smokes, and Thursday. Somebody just asked MC Agner how to do a rug pull. I couldn't tell you the details, but whatever Peanut is doing right now looks to be the way to do it. I don't know if this is the Peanut or if this is a different coin, but that is a beautiful way to do that. Hopefully none of y'all were in Peanut. The reason the volume shot up is because there's this giant cascade of selling that is happening on Peanut. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to focus on it, but yeah. Bill, you're welcome. I entered the 250 at 5 mil, almost out of range. Hey, that's amazing. That's a great place to be in, dude. To be able to enter in there and have it be at the top of your range like that, and then have it continue to kind of dip and move around here, that's a great spot to be in. I would like it to move up more. Obviously, so that it's more comfortably in my range. If it ends up dipping down here below this, then I'll probably just end up selling it because I think we bought in around the 10, 11 mil range, somewhere up in here. I don't remember exactly because I was frantically trying to get into it, but we did enter in around there. So I'd like to see it move up overall. Also, if it doesn't come down all the way to here and pumps back up here, it'll show that it's still continuing in an uptrend, where if it does break all the way down to here, even if it does start to come up, it's showing that it's in a sideways or a downtrend. So we'll keep watching that and see. Crypto Preset ask Hawktua. Yeah, that's another great example of how to rug. Brother, what do you say about Rismus? Your honest opinion? I'm stuck there. I'll check it out. I mean, I'm not getting into Rismus. Anything that's like holiday focused can do well in the short term, but overall, it's probably not going to do well in the long term. I remember this was all the way up to like 30 mil. It's at 12 million market cap now after it pumped up a little bit. I probably would have tried to sell it on a pump like this. If it ends up coming up again to something like this, I would honestly just try to sell it. It's in a downtrend right now. Maybe moving up to Christmas, it picks up a little bit, but I would definitely be looking to get out. Overall, it's not doing a ton of volume, and I think the long term on this isn't good, right? Like after Christmas, is it still going to be good? I don't know. So that's my opinion on that. Peanut owner demanded that the coin be removed from Binance. Peanut owner demanded that Peanut be removed from Binance. I am Colt. That's interesting. I'm in Zods. What would be your strat if you will LP on it? Let's check out Zods. I don't know what that is. I mean, I've heard of it. I don't remember. There's a bunch of Zods. I'm going to assume it's this one. 13.5 million market cap. Volume is okay. It's at the lower end of volume that I'd want to DLMM it, but if there's not a lot of competition, you could probably do pretty well. If I was getting into it now, I'd wait for it to move up a little bit more, and then I would maybe set up like a two-sided pool, like a 100 bin, 1% pool, or 100 bin 0.8% pool. It's not one that I'm going to get into, but that's what I would do. If you're holding it currently, I would continue to hold it until it pumped up to a higher amount and we're to test off of this. If it keeps moving up, keep holding it. If it bounces off of this resistance, then I would sell it. ARC volume pretty low right now. How do you think it performs today trend-wise? Yeah, I'm out of ARC. I haven't. Oh, wait, ARC or ALC? Oh, you mean ARC. Sorry, I was thinking you meant ALC. ARC volume pretty low right now. I mean, it's the volume is like a little lower, but it's still like pretty good. The 1 hour is still 660K, and the 5 minute is still like 30 to 40K. And so it's a little lower right now, but it's not too big of a deal. It is overall in a downtrend, but I think over time we'll move back up. And so I'm not too worried about it. I mean, the ARC for me is a slower play where I'm trying to earn between like 7 and 10, or even if higher than that % a day. Because again, if you look at it over time, here, look, let's go to the 5 minute chart on ARC. You can see like it's ranged around the like 90, 100 mil range all the way up. Right here, it came all the way up to like 170 mil, but for the most part around the 150 mil. So like 100 to 150 mil for a while, up and down and up and down. And so I think it'll continue to do that potentially. Now, if it does break back down too much, then I'll end up selling out of it, just like I would anything else that doesn't make sense, even though I like it overall. But I do think that it'll end up moving back up, which is why I have a one-sided pool set up. Lee does look to have dipped back down some. It's testing off of this support here. We want to keep watching this. If it does dip below here and actually closes out a candle. So this wicked below, but we want to see if it closes below, then we'll get out. But if it keeps resisting here and fights back up, then we'll keep holding. I think that it might be, yeah, it's at the bottom of my range here. We ended up making about 300 bucks on it, which is pretty good. Looks like it's starting to fight back up here. I might just withdraw this and rebalance it. So I'm going to create a new pool just a little bit lower one side. I'm not trying to add a bunch of SOL into it. Again, if it dips too low, I'll just sell it. Oh, geez, of course, right when I close it out, it shoots up. Oh, I guess that's a good thing. I ended up closing it out before it pumped, and then as it goes up, I'll make some money on it, I guess. I was kind of hoping to re-add in down here, but I probably should have just waited there. I'll wait and see. If it comes back down, then I'll re-add it here, and if it goes up, then I'll wait and re-add it later. Either way, we're still holding it, and it's going to go up in value, and we earned a little bit of fees on it. So we'll just keep watching that. Let me answer some more questions here. Peanut. Oh, the dude who actually owned the real squirrel. Yeah. The Peanuts. Gotcha. Yeah, I know that's Peanuts, not Peanut. I was just looking at Peanut because it would popped up in the top volume. Is Peanut affected by the guy saying that he doesn't want that he wants it removed from Binance? I mean, I don't think he has any control over it, right? I don't know if he has IP rights or what that would look like, but it does look like him saying something caused it to dip because it's going down a little bit. Also, overall, like when you look at like ARK and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, it's down, but like a lot of the meme coins don't directly follow Solana, but they do mostly follow it. And you can see like Solana's at 215. So you can see like it came down from 228 and then it's just kind of been holding around here a little bit. I have this line drawn here for previous supports as well, around the 213, 212 range. So I think Solana is just kind of chilling down here. And so that'll cause meme coins to just kind of chill or drop a little bit as well, just like it did. But if Solana ends up picking back up, it'll come back up as well. So obviously they're not exactly the same, but it is important to realize like it does somewhat follow Solana. And so if it's down a little bit, it doesn't worry me too much. Now, if Solana is pumping and doing fairly well, not like hard pumping, but like moving up pretty nicely, and this still isn't doing well, then that would maybe start to concern me. Lee is absolutely skyrocketing right now. I guess it's a good thing we closed out of that pool, because even though we're not earning fees right now, we just earned a ton in the value of it going up. It's a good little hybrid strategy of holding and DLMMing at the same time. I didn't buy a ton of Lee because I was like, well, it's kind of risky. Obviously, I wish I would have bought more now. Holy smokes, it's launching right now. Let's see here. Whether you're DLMMing it or holding it, the good thing is it's going way up. It pinged all the way up at 22 mil, so people buying some pretty large amounts. So that's pretty cool. What I might end up doing here is selling some of it high up here, and then I might set up a one-sided sold pool on the way down, so that if it dips, we'll capitalize on that and earn some fees. And if it doesn't and it goes up, that's fine as well. But it's kind of a more risk-adverse solution to determining if to like get into a pool, right? Because if it keeps going up, we're not too worried about it. But if it comes down, then we'll earn off of it there. Yeah, you can see I think we bought in around 2,500 or so. It's almost doubled since then. It's pretty crazy. Maybe bought about 3,000. I think it was around 3,200 is how much we bought. Yeah, let's go ahead and swap this, and then we'll set up a one-sided pool to see if it dips down further. Well, we'll attempt to. Let's see here. See if we can get these to go through. It's pumping again, so it should be able to go through here. Yep, went through. We ended up selling it for 25 SOL, which is even more. It's more like $5,500. And we sold some over here as well. Perfect. Let's go back to the pool. And again, I don't know that this will work well. This is if it keeps just absolutely ripping. I'd be surprised if it did keep ripping up like this continually. I expect it to have somewhat of a dip soon. And so that's why I'm going to set up a one-sided pool on, I guess, the 250 bin. I kind of want a 200 bin 2% pool. I think it might even do better. Let's see if that exists. And if not, then maybe we can make one. Here's a 200 bin 2% here. Let's see if its price is on or if it's a little off right now. It is off. So what we can do is we can just add in 0.2 SOL. Oops, let's refresh that. We'll add in 0.2 SOL and see if we can get it to rebalance here. Hey, thanks everyone for being here. We're over 800 people watching between YouTube and X. And so thank y'all for being here. We do live DLMMing every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, except for tomorrow. I'm going to be doing it on Friday this week instead of Thursday because I'm going to be hanging out with a buddy. So there we go. Oh yeah, let's do. So we're going to do 0.25 SOL. We're just going to add it in here. It's we know that the price is off. but this way the pool will get, hopefully you get like a little bit of arbitrage here, and it will fix the price. Let's see what happens. If it'll create it. It did. It actually didn't get arbitrage at all, which means that even though this is showing that it's off, it's actually not off. It just thinks that it is. UFD has dipped down just a little bit, which again, totally fine for us, as well as ARC. And Lee is continuing to push up here. Yeah, so we'll add in a little bit more here. We'll see if this gets arbitraged. See if it'll balance it out now. Or it could just be the front end isn't catching up to the back end. Yep, you can see it did not get arbitrage. It's all added in there. So we'll refresh one more time, and then we'll just go ahead and add the rest of what we're looking to add into it. Again, I expect the coin to kind of top out soon and dip back down, which is why I'm adding in a one-sided sold pool. So as it dips down, we'll buy into it. We're doing spot. You could do bid ask. I like spot, especially on a volatile coin like this, to start earning a lot of fees right away. Yeah, on my other wallet, I clicked on this pool and it's updated and showing that it's accurate. Oh yeah, it's showing it there now as well. Cool. So we're in there. You can see it's just chilling right here. So it's either going to decide to break out here or it's going to come down. If it does break out, hey, no problem. We set up a one-sided pull on the way down. If it breaks out, no loss to us. We can just close it and move on. But if it does decide to dip, then obviously we'll be able to start collecting fees. So we'll see what happens there. We'll continue to watch it. With the volume it's doing, it wouldn't surprise me if it broke out. But yeah. So this is the big support that we want to watch UFD bounce off of here. I think like I can still have my pool go way down here. Let me show y'all. But I would like it to bounce off of that one so that it stays at the top end of our range instead of at the middle. Looking at UFD. Apparently, Fartcoin's doing pretty well also. We want to look at that one. But yeah, you can see here we're still well at the top side of our range. We're earning 88, 90% roughly. You can see that's translated just in the short amount of time we've been in it to almost $550 in fees. We are going to claim these fees here. And we're going to add them back into the pool to continue to compound them. We'll just click on autofill once it goes through here, which it did. We can do this and this, and we'll just add them back in at the current position. Now, if this is too high up on this end, I won't add them back in like this. I'll probably just keep the SOL and sell the UFD because it's on the top end of the range. But if it's closer to the middle, like here, or a little bit closer, then I'll add them back in just like you saw me just do. It does look like Lee may be topping out. You can see it start to slow down here, and then you start to see some red. So we'll see if it keeps doing that, but I expect it to potentially dip back down, which is why we create that one-sided pool. We also see here that UFD did bounce off of this support. We'll see if it keeps going up or if it wants to break down below from here. The volume's moved down on it a little bit, but still doing crazy volume. It's doing over 500K on the 5-minute, which is what we like to look for on the 1 hour. We like to see 500K to 1 million on the 1 hour, but it's doing way more than that. So yeah, still really good, still good on the fees and all that kind of good stuff. I want to check out Fartcoin. Fartcoin's been pumping a lot, and the fees apparently have been pretty good on it as well. You can see it's actually, I don't need to click on it, it's over here. It's about to hit 1 billion market cap, which is pretty crazy. Dang, I wish I would have gotten in down here. It pumped up crazy heavy today, had a little bit of a dip back. This actually might be a good time to open up a one-sided pool on Fartcoin. honestly, a lot of stuff's doing well this morning. You can see here Lee is starting to dip back down. And if we go to our pool, you'll see we'll start to earn on that. But I only have so much liquidity. I can only put it in so many places. I could remove some from ARK and sell some ARK, but I would be taking a small loss on that. So come on, Lee. I must have set this up a little too high because it looks like it didn't quite come down all the way. But it does look like it might be starting to move down, so we'll still leave it there. Yeah, both of my pools, both haven't quite entered into it yet. I think they need to dip just a little lower. I thought I set them up a little bit higher, but apparently it must have been whenever this wick dipped down here that I set it up. So we're continuing to watch all of these. Let me see if I can take some questions. What do you mean by arbitrage? Can you explain? So an arbitrage opportunity, the term in itself just means that you're able to buy something somewhere for cheaper and sell it for more because for some reason you're able to buy it cheaper than what the actual market price is. So in general, that's like a general term for arbitrage. And so in this instance, what's happening is that when you set up your pool, if the price difference is off here, then what happens is that there can be an arbitrage opportunity. Basically, there's people who look for stuff like this. And if you enter it in and it's cheaper than what the actual market price is, or it's more than the actual market price, they could buy somewhere else and sell into your pool. Or they can, if yours is cheaper, they'll buy your pool and sell somewhere else. And so there's actually bots and stuff like that people have set up to be able to see when there's an arbitrage opportunity of more than like 5 or 10%. And they'll just immediately buy it wherever it's cheaper and immediately sell it where it's better. And so that's how you can get arbitraged. Are you a dev? I'm not a dev. I've done very, very, very little development work. Nothing too crazy. Wheezy, I talked about Croak earlier. It is down, obviously, but we're continuing to working on it and more of a long-term play for us, but we are still working. Wheel Snake in it. Not in Wheel Snake. I was in it earlier. Is it doing well right now? I don't know. It's one that I said I didn't want to be too risky on. It was a low market cap. It didn't have enough volume at the time. And so I decided to get out of Wheel Snake, and it does look like it's down a little bit. Still doing okay volume. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, it does look like it's down. At this point, it might continue to free fall. It did dip below this previous support here. There are a few supports here that it could bounce off of, though. So, yeah, not super keen on it right now. Could it do well? Yes, but not right now. Thizel, DLM did a few hours ago. Back at it now. Been real good. Hey, cool, man. Glad to hear it's going well for you. Just be careful because it could dip further down from there. So, clean and clear. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We're up to almost 900 people watching. Thank y'all for being here. It does look like Lee is starting to pump back up here. So our one-sided pool did nothing. Unfortunately, didn't quite dip down deep enough. And so that's okay. For us, we'll just close it out and move on. We'll do that on both of our wallets. We might end up buying some more Lee. Let me make sure I don't have any Lee remaining on any of my wallets. Sometimes when I'm swapping stuff around, it'll get left on there. I do not. But do we want to buy some Lee? Potentially. Let's see. It is ripping up pretty hard here. So we might just set up a two-sided pool here. I think that's what we'll do. That way we capture fees both ways. We're doing a small sizing again, not trying to do anything too crazy, but that way we can try to capitalize both ways. So we'll autofill. We're just going to do a two-sided pool. We're on the 202%. We'll add liquidity here. It is a little bit off, but we'll go ahead and swap there. It may actually not be as off as it says. We'll double check. You'll see if it ends up moving in price because you'll see it very quickly. We'll like immediately get the fees swapped and this will move very fast, which it didn't do. And so we did not get arbitraged. Even if we do, it might just be a little bit. So it's not too bad. All right, so we are setting up a two-sided on our other one as well. And so the reason I'm doing that, as you can see, it's kind of sitting sideways here. If it ends up dipping down, we'll earn fees. If it ends up going up, we'll earn fees. So just looking kind of at a hybrid strategy here. Volume's still really good. So I think over time will probably keep going up, but didn't want to miss out on the fees. So we did a small sizing also just in case this does top out and comes way down. We won't take too much of a loss. Another reason why we're doing the 200 band, it leaves a lot of room for the up and down action. Checking back in on UFD. UFD does look like it's pinged off this bottom resistance a few times. Would love to see it continue sideways, but ultimately pull back up for us to look for an exit on it. We could just keep holding it long term though. Honestly, if it comes all the way down to 50 mil, we're still in range. And honestly, it can just sit and bounce around a lot. I was trying out a different strategy on my other wallet. I might pull over the screen to show y'all because I kind of got in at a point where I was like, all right, we're going to be slightly on the higher side on this. But I want to see if I can concentrate my liquidity a little bit more using the curve strategy. And so I kind of set up a little bit of a hybrid strategy here, which you can see the chart's a little bit off. But you can see I did this on my other wallet. And so obviously the closer to the middle, the better. As it pushes out towards the end, it's not as good. So I actually like that it dipped down a little bit towards the middle. I just wanted to try this out. I think I set this up as like kind of just to see opposite of this other wallet, what would happen. It is earning a similar percentage as the other wallet, so I think it probably isn't too big of a difference. But overall, it's earning well, and I'm happy with it staying here or pushing out even further either way. Honestly, if it dips down a little bit before it breaks back up, that would be even better for this position. But we just wanted to try a few things out. It's hard to know how well something works unless you test it. So Lee did break back up, so that's good there. It's not showing that we've earned any fees yet, but for some reason, I think it's a little delayed for some reason. Yeah, it looks a little strange. Both of my Lee pools aren't earning anything, even though like the coin is clearly pumping. Oh, there we go. I earned $1. It could also just be, though, because this pool that I'm in has a lower TVL, which sometimes takes time for the fees to start rolling in, just like this. And then sometimes more people will add liquidity to it, and that'll obviously help it as well. So sometimes it starts a little slower, but it'll pick up over time. So we'll see. But it's doing well here. UFD moving up. ARC still just kind of chilling, dipped down a little bit, which is totally fine. Let's see where our ARC pool is. Let me come back, see if I can find any questions to answer here. Claim Care, I love that he says not do anything too crazy and types in 15 SOL. Yeah, I mean, obviously the amount of money that we use is all different. And so for me, 15 SOL is a smaller sizing. Sometimes I'll do 5 or 10 SOL, kind of just depending. Being that it's at like 20 million, 25 million market cap, to me, that's like a little more than a small sizing. Yes, I'm in Lee. But yeah, you can see here, I have 7,400. So this isn't a huge amount, but obviously we have a lot more in ARC. So you can see based on our risk, right? Like ARC is a 120 million roughly market cap coin, 115 right now. And UFD is around 18. I have 18,000 in, and it's a 70 million market cap coin. And then Lee is a 20, well, now close to 30. It looks like it's pumping pretty heavily, million market cap coin. So as they go down, my sizing is smaller. I imagine Lee is doing pretty good. Let me check ARC real quick. I want to see, because I set up a one-sided pool, and it should still, yeah, it's towards the bottom of it, but still doing really well. And you can see we're still earning 15% on ARC. Like we've earned almost like around $300 since we set this up earlier. So just maybe an hour ago. So it's doing really, really well still. Lee is just ripping. I imagine that pool looks pretty good right now. Let's take a look, and then I'll answer some more questions. Yeah, we're earning pretty good on Lee. And this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see it push up like this so that even if it does start dipping down, we're at the top end of our range. That's where I feel comfortable at. That way, as it moves up and down, even if it comes all the way down and we decide to sell out, we're still at a break even on the overall value, and we've made a ton of fees along the way. So this 20 mil here is kind of the bottom of where I'd want it to go. If it breaks below here, then we'll probably just end up selling. This is around where we got in at. And so, yeah. But it looks to be ripping right now, so we'll continue to watch this. This morning has been really, really hot between UFD, between Lee. A lot of these coins are doing really, really well. This is probably a good spot if you want to get into Fartcoin to set up a one-sided sold pool. I would do like 100 bin or even an 80 bin, but probably 100 bin, 0.8%, or depending on what's doing well, but a pool that has a good amount of volume in it already, around 100 or an 80 bin, setting it up and watching it come back down here. I think it see some pullback. It could end up breaking back out to break over 1 bill, but obviously $1 billion is a pretty big mark to hit. So I expect some pullback before it comes back into that. So just watch that as well. Let's answer some questions. I don't know if I skipped some. There isn't any volume on specific pools you selected yet. I'm monitoring my pools on Dex Screen. It shows live transactions. Yeah, you can do that. So you can just go here and you can actually see how it says pool chart. So if you want to see there's only 16 grand in this pool, but if you want to see all the transactions going through this specific pool, then you would just click on one of these like Dex Screen, and you can actually see all the transactions going through this one specifically, not just all the transactions going through all the pools, which is what you see when you look at like good morning, good night right here. So you can look at both. When I want to, you and Lee, yes, I'm in Lee. When you want to start into a pool and see the orange arrow on top about price difference, what do? I refreshed yesterday on a volatile token and still got it all the time. Certain times, I think you saw me do this, Kamdala, but certain times it will show that it's off, but it's actually not. It's just on the front end. So what I'll do is the first thing I do is refresh. And if it's still showing it, then I'll just add in like a few dollars, right? You can just put in like 0.1 SOL, 0.05 SOL. You can see it's right after refreshing. But you might need a hard refresh. You can control F5 to do that. And then once you do that, you just, you just need to, if it's still there, then just put in like $5 or $10. Depending on how much you're using, you might want to put in less. But usually doing that will auto fix it and then refresh, and it should be good. Then you can add in more. Also, if you add in $5 or $10 and it doesn't actually do anything, just add in a little more and keep adding in a little more to see if it does it. If not, it might just be a front end bug type issue that's still showing it, even though it's not different. Am I farming Met if I use HawkFi? Yes. If you use HawkFi, you still farm farm Hawk points and you farm Met points at the same time. So that's the benefit of using both. Is it hard to LP when bear market? Yes, it is harder. Like this morning, we're watching Lee rip, we're watching UFD do really well. Like there's a bunch of different tokens that I've seen this morning doing well. We could probably find like another one, like whatever this Dage thing is, might do okay. Like who knows? But there's like multiple coins a day that end up doing really well. And so like in the bull market, that's the case. Now, whenever you're in the bear market, there's usually less of them. The competition goes down, but because there's less, their competition actually ends up feeling heavier because you're having to find better plays. And it's much harder to do that during the bear market. You have to be more strategic. You have to find unique plays. Sometimes you need to find different ways to adjust and concentrate your pools to get squeeze more fees out of it because there's less volume. And so you can still do really well in the bear market, but you're not going to earn as much and the plays aren't going to come as easily. So just know that. But you definitely still can earn money. We have done that in the bear market. I do expect we've been in a bear market for a very, very long time. I expect this bull market to last a long time. I think this specific kind of short meme cycle that we're in is going to last through like January or February. But I think overall we'll still be in a really solid bull market all the way through the end of 2025, if not longer. So that's kind of my general opinion. Can you explain the one-sided SOL strategy, like when to use it, things taken into account, anything else? I think it's less risky or more profitable. If you can more detailed video, that'd be good too. Hey, Goku, absolutely. That is a fantastic question. If you have not already, you can go to my account and you can see here, I have the ultimate DLMM guide for Meteora. I have DLMM basics, pool selection, advanced strategy, charting, entries, and exits. And in this one, I talk about the one-sided. I think I talk about it in either the third or fourth video. But I talk a little bit more in detail. So you can actually go check that out. I'm going to answer your question here as well. But if anybody has any questions like this, you can always go check this out, bookmark it. Also, I have 371 bookmarks, but only 234 likes. If you've bookmarked this thing, please go like it as well. It helps with all the engagement and algorithms and stuff like that. And if you do go bookmark it, also like it, please. I appreciate it. But you can go check out these videos. This took me a long time to create. This is a 5-minute video, a 6.5-minute video. This is an 8.5-minute video, and this is a 9-minute. I had to edit all these as well. and put all this together in this nice little compact form. So it did take me time to do it. I'd appreciate it if y'all would go check it out. You can always refer back to this to be able to learn more as well. Make sure y'all share it to other people and friends who may have questions. It helps me out, obviously, to be able to push my account as well. I am trying to get monetized, and to do that, I need more and more engagement and impressions and all that kind of good stuff. And so I appreciate anything that y'all do. Obviously, what we do is free content here. And so, you know, we don't get paid to do what I'm doing right now unless I get monetized, right? So I appreciate it, though. Sweet. So we're looking at Lee. It does look like it's bouncing off of this support down here. It might continue to break lower. The next one would be at 20 mil. That would be the big one that I would watch it before it broke down. But either way, I think we got in at a good spot to where we're still earning pretty nicely. We should be closer to the middle of our range here, which we are. I think this next bin would be the one that would be the middle of our range. But you can see we're earning over 340%. That's almost $200 just in the short amount of time that we've been in it on 7,600 in liquidity. Obviously, we'd like to see it bounce here and come back up. If it did come back up here, then I might look to sell out at some point if it ends up breaking out to a higher point, or I might just continue to hold it, which is like what you can see with UFD here, which is also breaking back up. This is a really good site because it's breaking back up above these previous ones. It's likely to continue in an uptrend, at least for a little while, if not breaking out even higher. And that's really good for us. ARK is continuing just kind of chill where it's at, lower volume right now, but overall a more solid play over the long haul, less risky. So we'll see if UFD bounces off of here or not. Still really nicely in range overall. And you can see that Fartcoin is dipping down. If you set up a one-sided pool, there's a little pump back here, but if you set up a one-sided pool, you'd just be earning fees well within range as well. Just liked it. Thanks, boss. I'll check it out. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for doing that. We're almost up to 1,000 people watching, 970 between both YouTube and Twitter. Thank y'all so much for being here. I will not be streaming tomorrow. Normally, I stream on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, sometimes on Fridays. I'll not be streaming tomorrow because I have some personal plans, but I will be streaming on Friday. I'll also be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing a giveaway actually in just a few minutes. I do need to hop off shortly. And so if you haven't already, you can go engage with this tweet here. This is 10 days of Christmas giveaways every single day leading up to Christmas. I'm doing giveaways, and I'm also promoting a certain project that I really, really like, that I think is doing well, that the team's really, really cool. And so today we are talking about ARK, which is an innovative AI project building a whole AI framework on the blockchain, on the Solana blockchain using Rust, which is really, really cool. No one else is doing it that I know of. Definitely not doing it to the level they're doing it in. And but you can win $150 in ARK. One person will win. I'll pick them live in just a few minutes here for you to see. You do need to be on live stream to be able to win, which you can see here. I said join the live stream, engage with this post. So we'll pick you here. So make sure you, you're here. We'll be doing it in just a few minutes, probably 5 to 10 minutes. We'll let people come in. All you have to do is engage with this post and be in the live stream. I'll be picking someone in just a little bit. So if you haven't already, do that. And I'll be pulling them. Does look like UFD is breaking out here. We'd love to see that. We also see Lee did bounce off here and is moving back up. So that's also a really, really good sign. Honestly, this morning is going really, really well. We're printing big. I want to talk just a minute about just some general stuff. So we're continuing to watch this. I'll continue to answer some questions if y'all have any, but I want to just talk about DLMMing, about DeFi, about trying to make it in Web3, period. I am full-time Web3. Not everybody has the opportunity to do that, but I would love for more and more of you to be able to do it. I'd love for more of y'all to be able to earn money, be able to make more money and do really well for your families and your friends. That's why I do this. That's why I want to continue to do this. And so, you know, there's times where y'all will watch this stream and I'll lose money, and that's okay. Because if you watch what I do, I don't worry about if the coin's going to end up going up later. I don't worry about that. If it goes below a certain range and I'm at a certain loss, I just close it out and I move on. And the reason why I do that is because I want to minimize my losses, because I know there's going to be coins like this. There's going to be coins like Lee. There's coins like UFD that are going to continue to do really well, and we'll earn a lot of fees on and we'll make money on them. And so if there's more of those than losses, then we'll end up making money. And so you have to cut your losses. If you're in a spot where you're going to lose, don't keep holding the coin. Make sure that you try to minimize your losses as best as possible. And then when you're winning, capitalize on your wins like we're doing right now. We've been sitting with UFD and it's just been ranging really, really nicely here. Lee's doing pretty good. It does look like it's dipping now. And so just know, like, you don't have to hold things and stay in them long term. Take your loss, move on. There's plenty of coins right now to where you don't have to try to hold on forever. And so just make good choices, wise choices as far as that, whenever you're looking at, like managing your funds. And so try to make good choices, make sure you minimize those losses, and then capitalize on the big wins as best as possible. Okay. I'm going to do a few things here. I'm going to be ending the stream soon. Obviously, we're going to be ending it with the giveaway. I'm watching Lee and what it's doing here. It does look like it's kind of bouncing off of that. We're still around the middle of our range where we entered, and we earned a lot of fees on it. So I think I'm not saying you should get out of Lee. If I was going to be sitting on this longer and I could watch the pool, then I would be holding Lee longer. But I am going to get out of it now because I need to pay attention to do the giveaway, and I need to hop off and go get some lunch after I do the giveaway. And so because of that, I'm going to go ahead. I did have a small sizing in this, so it's not like I'm going to make a big difference anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of Lee right now. I do still believe in UFD doing well long-term as well as ARK, so I'm going to hold those two coins, but I am going to get out of Lee. It does look like it's trying to bounce here, which is a really good sign. I'm going to close out the pool and watch it just a second. If it ends up coming back up, then I might, well, I already sold it, so that works. I'm going to go ahead and sell on my other wallet, and then we'll move on to the giveaways. And so basically the idea here is that I'm in profit. I'm doing well. Obviously, if I keep holding it and it goes up, I could do even better, but I'm not able to watch it. It could come down and it could do worse also. And so look, if you don't have the opportunity to watch something and there's something that seems risky, basically anything that's a low market cap coin that has high volume, as quick as it goes up, it can come back down, right? So just be careful, watch that kind of stuff. And if, you're going to go somewhere and do something for a while, don't necessarily sit on a coin that's at 20 million market cap, because it could be at 10 million market cap in 30 minutes or an hour from now. That's how you lose money. We're up big time on UFD. Let me show you all that pool, as well as doing really well on ARK. It's ones that we believe in. They're higher market caps. We think they're going to do well over the long term. UFD literally could dump all the way down to 50 mil. That'd be a pretty big hit for a lot of people, but for us, it wouldn't be because of where we have our pool set up. Let me show you that real quick. We've been compounding these fees. So you can see here, we've already earned 160 bucks. I think we compounded maybe just like 15 or 20 minutes ago. So we're earning 75% on average. This has dipped down a little bit. It was up to like 88% earlier. Either way, doing really good. We're at the top end of our range, so we have plenty of room for this to dip back down. If it got down to 50 mil, we would just be near the middle. So it can go all the way down to like 35, 40 mil, and we still be in range. So we're able to sit on this, allow it to just earn fees. If it ends up pushing out, great. We'll end up earning money either way. And so we're just going to sit on both ARK and we're going to sit on UFD until it gets to the point where we feel like we shouldn't hold either of them anymore if the token doesn't look good, and then we'll get out of them. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of Lee right now and Fartcoin and some of this, and then we will look at doing a giveaway. So this is your last chance. If you haven't already, go engage with this. We only have about 200 something likes. So this is a way better chance than trying to win many competitions you can do in life, including the lottery. You have a 1 in 200 something chance here. And so last chance to engage with this. I will be picking it shortly. And yeah, again, we just wanted to promote projects throughout this giveaway. We wanted to be able to give back to the community. And so one person is going to win 150 bucks of the ARK token that we will send to them, and we'll select it randomly. And so, yeah, it's your last chance to engage. We'll choose it in just a minute. While I'm waiting on that, I also wanted to say that this is a really cool website, quantify.gg. We had one of our community members, trying to remember which one it was, that talked about this. He's talked about it a few times, but you can actually look at different coins. Like if I wanted to look at like UFD, I can come to quantify.gg, and there's a few different like holder wallet analysis, token safety analysis. And so you can actually enter in this token, and you can see the token analysis on it. And you can do like a detailed view. You can see this is unicorn fart dust. It shows you kind of like everything here. It gives you like a risk assessment. You can look at holder analysis. You can see the bubble map and like how many holders are holding what, all that kind of good stuff, wallet analysis. And so Quantify.gg, it's a good site to use. Go check it out. I'm also checking out DeFi Tuna. I haven't looked into it yet, but I will be giving an update once I do check it out. I've had a few people, as well as including the founder or the dev, asked me to check this out. It does look pretty interesting, but I don't know it well enough to talk about it. But I will be talking about that at a later date also. All right, so you need to be following me, Tokenomics Guy, and you need to have engaged on the tweet as well. This is the last chance to do it here if you haven't already. And I'll be picking in just a few seconds here. Also, UFD is pumping. It looks like it's going to break out even more, which is awesome. All right, here we go. We're going to pick. Good luck to everybody. And also, once I do this, whoever wins, you need to say something in the chat for me to know that you're here. If you do not, I'll have to pick someone else. I'm also going to make sure it's a real person and not a bot. And here we go. You do metlex.io and you copy the transaction ID, the withdrawal transaction ID from SolScan. All right, we've got gambles.com, awful waffle. Awful waffle, are you here? This is a real person. Is he going to be here? He follows me. Awful waffle. You just need to say that you're here inside of chat. And if you are, then you'll win. If not, then I'll have to select someone else. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Does anybody see him chatting? Because I do not. Ping you might still be a decent option. Not too sure. Yeah, he looks real. He's got to be on stream. All right, looks like we're going to be selecting somebody else. Sorry, awful waffle, that you are not here. All right, choosing someone else now. $150, man. It's a lot for a lot of people. Wanderer, are you here? Your pick looks like a bot, but we'll see if you're a real person. Could just be an AI thing. Wanderer is here on YouTube. Fantastic. On Twitter, you may not see it, but Wanderer said that they are here. Let's see here. Wanderer, thanks for being here. Thanks for following. It has to be fake. He says that he's here, so on YouTube, I can see it. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. Hey, that's a great point. If you're looking at a coin and it drops below where it should be, it's no longer serving you to make money, so you should close out of that pool. It's a great way to minimize losses. I'm going to go ahead and message you, Wonder. Congrats on winning the 150 ARC. Please DM me your wallet. Congratulations. Hey, if you didn't win, I'm sorry you didn't win. We'll have another giveaway tomorrow and every day leading up to Christmas, which means we still have 7 more days to go, or 6 more days to go. So please, 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 y'all make sure to check out those giveaways. I post them every single morning whenever I get up. And if I have a live stream, we'll do the giveaways on the live stream because I love supporting the people that are watching me. If not, like tomorrow, I'll do a giveaway and I don't have a live stream. So you won't have to be on the live stream to be able to win. I'll just do the giveaway and you just need to engage with the post, which I will tell you about. You'll be able to see the instructions for the post. Hey, UFD is killing it right now. ARC, again, is down a little bit, but I think overall is going to continue to move up. I really, really like ARC. As always, make sure that you do your own research. Everything that I talk about is not financial advice. It's all for education and entertainment purposes only. I want you to be able to learn how to do it. I don't want you to just copy trade me. I want you to learn how to be able to do this yourself so that you don't have to rely on somebody like me, right? I just want to help educate as best as I can. I'm continuing to learn and grow as well. And if you haven't already, again, if you want to check back in, you can watch this video, but you can also go see, I have a pinned tweet here. You can see that it's the ultimate DLMM guide. And so obviously a lot of people have been asking me about this, but there's multiple videos. It took a long time for me to make this. If you're interested, you can go watch that. Make sure to engage as well and like it. If you do watch it, don't just watch it and not engage with it. It helps me out a lot. We are trying to get monetized. It probably won't happen for another month or two based on everything going on, but we're going to continue to be consistent. We're going to continue to be here and hopefully we continue to provide value to you. And so thank y'all so much again for being here. I won't see y'all tomorrow on live stream. We did break over 1,000 people, so thank y'all so much. But I will be here on Friday doing a live stream, and we'll have another giveaway, and we'll be talking more tokens on Friday. So thank y'all so much, and I hope y'all have an amazing day or night, depending where you are in the world. Yeah, y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later.